Have you ever considered the difference between the ideal and what's best? May not seem like there is a difference, but I'm going to demonstrate that for you. And Genesis is going to bring this up in chapter 1 and then revisit it later. And it's going to do it with the consideration of, is it best to be vegetarian or not? Which I am not a vegetarian, but just a consideration here in Genesis. The ideal, or what's best, would be that likely you need to lock your house up at night, or when you leave your home, you lock up your house so that nobody can get in. But that's not actually the ideal. It's just what's best because of present circumstances. You lock your house because you don't know if someone would try to get in and take what's yours. And so it's not the ideal to have to lock your house up, but it's what's best given the present circumstances. So how does that relate to Genesis? And how does that relate to being a vegetarian? Well, in Genesis chapter 1, verse 29 and 30, God said, "Behold, I have given you every plant yielding seed that is on the face of all the earth, and every tree with seed in it and its fruit. You shall have them for food." He, in verse 30, says the same thing about every beast of the field and every bird of the air and everything that creeps on the earth, that the plants will be food for you. Originally, God's intention was for our diet to consist of the plant life, not of meat. Now, I love meat. I like bacon. I love steak. I love all the different meats that are there. But we are presently consuming meat as a what's best, not what is ideal. And so if the ideal was to eat plant life, just want to ask you to consider, is that what is actually the best if certain circumstances weren't in the way? Now, I don't know what it was about, and we'll see it again resurface later, what it was about sin entering the world that made things less than ideal, and then caused us to have to consume, or at least be permitted to consume, meat. And it is certainly not a sin throughout the Bible. It brings up the issue of eating meat as a okay or even a good thing. So not that it's wrong, but just thought it'd be, no pun intended, food for thought. Is it the ideal to just eat plants? And if so, why? And you consider the killing of animals and stuff. And I'm not against killing animals, especially for food. But again, just we want to reflect through the Bible. And the Bible raises this idea that it seemed to be the ideal to eat plant life. And why was that? And just to continue to push that further, to think through that ideal versus what's best. And think through that in your life. What are things that you do, not because it's ideal, it's great that you do those things, but you do them as a reaction to circumstances. And there's nothing wrong with that, circumstances. You know, people do steal, people do take what's there, not theirs, and so we need to do stuff to prevent that. But again, that's not the ideal. And I wonder if we're living in ways that promote less than ideal circumstances or not. Consider those morals. If you like this video as we continue to reflect through Genesis, and we'll move through the entirety of the Bible, then I encourage you to please like, share, comment. If you have any questions, feel free to comment your questions or to private message me. If you are on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. If you're on Facebook, please like or follow our Facebook page. Thank you very much.